Hey folks, welcome back to another Palm Master video. So today we should be, or at reset, right? Next reset, we should be able to get all our rewards from the Land and Sea event, which, by the way, shout out to everyone who participated, right? I mean, I personally dumped, I think, around 60 million coins into that, and we got the goal. We not only we beat 4 million for all the move candies, we beat 5 million for the extra gems. And we almost got to 6 million. We ended at like, I think 5.8 or 9 million or something. We almost got to 6 million. Although there's no prize at 6 million, but it's I'm just saying we are pretty awesome, I'd say. All of us, right? So anyways, since the move candies are coming, some people asked me to do a video going over which units you should probably use the move candies on and at which stage, right? So I put a few categories over here, right? So the first one is needs 3 out of 5. Second category needs 2 out of 5 but gets much better at 3 out of 5. Third category is needs 2 out of 5 but doesn't need 3 out of 5. Next category is fine at 1 out of 5 but would like to have 3 out of 5. And the next one is fine at 1 out of 5 but would like to be 2 out of 5. And then the last one is fine at 1 out of 5. So yeah, shout outs to Runner Joe for helping me out with this one, right? So yeah, let's do this. So interesting things here, right? So I am only going to mention limited sync pairs, right? So only mass fairs, poke fairs, and seasonals. We're not gonna talk about spotlight units, even though I'm not that some spotlights are bad. Spotlights have some of the strongest Pokemon in the game. However, spotlight units, they are on every banner, which even though it is sometimes hard to get 0. something 2, 3 rates right now, but they are always in the pool, so you probably would eventually get them, right? So I wouldn't really recommend going, using a candy on your spotlight units, which again you can do, but again, like with mass affairs having like 12% 5-star rates, your chance of getting like a non featured or regular spotlight scout would be pretty high, right? So again, we're mainly just talking about mass affairs, poke fairs, and seasonals, right? So to start this off, let's go from bottom to top, right? So let's start from the ones that need or are at fine at 1 out of 5, right? So first one, Dragonite. Dragonite does get some good stuff. Whoops, that's the wrong tab. Dragonite does get like some good stuff at on his grid, right? He does have the move gauge refresh on Hyper Beam, which helps. Healthy healing is nice. The potion NPRs are nice, but none of them are really like essential to his kit, right? Like his kit boils down to Hyper Beam goes Burr, right? Very, very, very big damage on his Hyper Beam, and nothing else really matters that much, honestly. Moving on, the next one is Zacian. Zacian also doesn't really need its grid, right? Plus its grid is just like not good. It just doesn't have anything on its grid. Like literally, what do you have? Like crit ferocity is not very useful. Move gauge boost, move gauge refresh 9, who cares? Like the 2 behemoth blade move gauge refreshes are nice, but then you're already like so fast anyways. Like it's really not that big of a deal. You do get like some play roughs stuff with like on a roll, but like honestly, again, not a huge deal. Super duper effective at 1. It's just 10% buff. It's really not that big of a deal. So yeah, Zacian fine at 1 out of 5 just because the guy's grid has like nothing. Moving on, Gardevoir also probably fine at 1 out of 5, honestly. Right, even though again Gardevoir also does have some nice stuff on its grid, but none of it is like again necessary to or essential to this kit. You have Devastation, then again, I mean, you are a mega, like you're not going to do that much damage to sync move anyways. You're mainly here to do big damage with your 4 gauge Moonblast, right? Again, the 2 move gauge refreshers, they're nice to have, but again, not necessary, definitely not essential, right? And last one that's fine at 1 out of 5, I'd say probably is just Gyarados, right? Gyarados, same, or what, I wouldn't say same, but pretty similar situation to like Dragonite. I mean, they're both Lance units, right? So you don't really have too much. Again, the move gauge refresh is always nice, right? Especially for 4 gauge move units, but it's not essential. Shower Power is kind of whatever, although it is getting much better with Kyogre though. Shower Power, since Kyogre does have a weather extension, right? Raging Rain, again, it's nice, but it's only like 20%, right? Again, there's a lot of really nice nodes on here, but nothing is really essential, right? The essential stuff is this and this, right? Nothing else. Oh, I guess flying shift. Power Flux 5 is next to, but yeah, that's the main essentials, right? Moving on to the units that are fine at 1 out of 5, but would like 2 out of 5, right? 2 out of 5 would, I'd say, be really great for them. But if you don't upgrade it to 2 out of 5, it's not like the end of the world, right? And that's all creamy. Because at 1 out of 5, you don't get too much. You get like 1 move gauge, MP refresh for like every move. But 2 out of 5, you do get some nice stuff. You get first aid, you get healthy healing, right? Toughen up, right? And then like 2 MPRs and 2 move gauge refreshers for all the your moves. Again, it's nice to have, but it's not like extremely necessary, right? And I think this is the only Pokemon that kind of fits this criteria, right? So moving on, next one, fine at 1 out of 5, but would like 3 out of 5. So what I'm gonna do is also this, like, actually I'll talk about it later, but yeah, fine at 1 out of 5, but would like 3 out of 5. First of all, Kyogre, right? Kyogre again dropping next reset, right? Very soon. So let's see, where's Kyogre? Oh, it's at the top because it's a new unit. So Kyogre has a very good 3 out of 5 grid, right? You got Super Rain 4 is fantastic. Healthy power ups, okay, I guess. It's not anything crazy, but you got like a lot of the Thunder stuff, Paralysis Energy, Move Gauge Refresh, Thunder Raging Ring 5, right? You got Shower Sync, Shower Power 3. Like, again, you get like a lot of really great things at 3 out of 5. But it's not the end of the world if you don't have it at 3 out of 5, right? It's not like you need a 3 out of 5. Like, Kyogre at 1 out of 5 is still like a top 10 unit in the game, right? With 3 out of 5, it's like it's easily like top 3 or whatever, right? So like this thing is incredibly good. Again, it would like 3 out of 5, but 1 out of 5 is fine too. And also for these units, you don't really get much at 2 out of 5. So like if you have 1 copy and you just want to like dump 1 move candy into it, I don't really think it's worth it because you don't really get much, honestly, right? So it's either 1 out of 5 or 3 out of 5. So next one is Groudon, because they basically have the same kit, honestly. very similar kits. Same stuff, right? Super Sun, super duper effective, right? You got Mind Games 9 for Solar Beam. They got all the Solar Beam stuff is locked behind, 3 out of 5, right? And then you got the Healing Sun, Solar Sync, Solar Flare. Again, very similar things. Again, fine at 1 out of 5, but bonkers at 3 out of 5. Moving on, we got Leon. Leon is also fine at 1 out of 5 because he's really good overall. But you do have some good stuff at 3 out of 5, which is you do have Burn Synergy at 3 out of 5, which is really nice, right? That's the main one. Scorching Sink is also nice to have, right? If you want that. But I don't think it's like the biggest deal in the world. But yeah, it's mainly just Burn Synergy 3. Fast Track, sometimes you could pick that up, right, if you want. But yeah, it's mainly just Burn Synergy 3, right? Again, totally fine at 1 out of 5. You don't really need it, but if you could get him 3 out of 5, that would also be nice as well. Moving on, Morpeko, right? Morpeko is, again, also completely fine at 1 out of 5. Still a monster at 1 out of 5, but what you don't have at 1 out of 5 is the strongest Sync Nuke in the game, right? With Inertia, Static Shock 3, the Sync nodes, right? 1 out of 5 Morpeko is just Power Trip DPS Morpeko, and 3 out of 5 Morpeko is Power Trip DPS plus Sync Nuke Morpeko, right? Again, you don't get anything from 2 out of 5. So moving on, we got this guy. Again, also completely fine at 1 out of 5, right? Res Charizard, if I can find it, right? Completely fine at 1 out of 5, very powerful. But if you can't get to him to 3 out of 5, do get some really good stuff. You get Speeding Sun, which I personally like a lot. At Speeding Sun, you got Haymaker, right? So, well, actually, Haymaker's that. Yeah, Haymaker is at 2 out of 5. But yeah, you do get Speeding Sun and Solar Flare 5, right? So you could go for the big nuke with Charizard, especially if you do have him at EX, right? 6R EX. Then 3 out of 5 would be really nice, just so you can AoE Sync Nuke with Haymaker, Solar Flare, right? On top of having Speeding Sun, you also have the option of Rejuvenate. So yeah, that's that. Moving on, Alder Volcarona. Alder Volcarona is also another, this scenario. I mean, all these in this tier are this scenario. Again, this is just categories, right? This is not like which one's stronger. This is not which one's stronger, right? This is just categories. Not the higher ones aren't stronger, the lower ones aren't weaker. It's just categories. Volcarona, 1 out of 5 is totally fine because it's another hyper beam unit, right? Big special attack, big hyper beam with the shift on the hyper beam, and you have rejuvenate on your kit already, and then your stat buffing moves are already good, right? However, if you do get him at 3 out of 5, you do have the option of picking up Overpower and Devastation, which is definitely nice. You also can run the Struggle Bug stuff, which you could do if you really want, I guess. The 2 Hyper Beam move gauge refreshes, but also it's still fine at 1 out of 5 as well. Moving on. Let's see. Zekrom, maybe. Zekrom also is fine at 1 out of 5. However, at 3 out of 5, you do get the sync nuke build for Zekrom, right? With static shock, the sync move power up nodes. So if you're running like an EXN, you probably would want to get him to 3 out of 5, right? So there's that. Moving on, Ice Steven. Ice Steven is completely fine at 1 out of 5. However, you do get a lot of the hail stuff. If I could find it. Where is it? Sand Slash, there we go. Right. At 3 out of 5, you do get some of the good stuff like Freeze Burner 5 if you want that for a sync nuke. It's not anything crazy though, but Hasty Hail. Hasty Hail is the really big one, I think. Double Down is nice as well, right? Free synergy with Icicle Crash. So you are, it's basically the freeze comp plus Hasty Hail, right? Is at 3 out of 5. Also the no quarter for Icicle Spear, if anyone still runs that. I personally don't. But anyways, moving on. Let's see what else we got. Oh, this is the support tier list. Let me just add a few rows so you guys don't have to look at that. All right. Where were we? Oh, next, Duraludon. Again, another one of those instances where it's kind of like a hyper beam unit, right? Everything is fine. However, Duraludon, at 3 out of 5, you do get access. You do get access to the sand stuff. If you want to run that, you go for that. Tough Cookie, that's another big one, right? Those are the 2 big ones, honestly. So yeah, that's Duraludon. Next is probably Rabombi. Rabombi. The thing with Rabombi is that again, most of its functions are fine at 1 of 5, but you do have the Master Healer on Leech Life, which is kind of what you want, right? Also the second Leech Life move gauge refresh 3, right? Because it is support being a 3 gauge move, so that definitely helps a lot. All right, Ridicure as well, but yeah, it's mainly Master Healer, right? But you can survive without it. Moving on, let's talk about the next category. Needs 2 out of 5, but doesn't need 3 out of 5. That would be Hilbert, right? Halloween Hilbert / Mighty Ina is in this category, right? So Mighty Ina at 2 out of 5, you do get a lot of like really great stuff. Insult to Injury, right? Haymaker, those are all 2 out of 5 stuff. Let's see what else. I think the Stand Fat's also there, right? Let me see. Whoops. No, 2 out of 5. Yeah, I can stand fast, but it's mainly just Insult to Injury and Haymaker. Those are the big 2 things. 3 out of 5 you don't really need, right? It's just like Crunch on a Roll. Nice to have, not necessary. Second move gauge refresh. Super duper effective's not that great. First aid. Yeah, none of these are necessary. Like, you don't need 3 out of 5. 2 out of 5 is good enough. I guess you do also have like the sync move power-ups, but again, like not a huge deal. All right, next we got Comfy, also in this category. Comfy, same thing with Rabombi, right? It's just for your Master Healer, honestly. All right, or not Master Healer, what was it? Yeah, it is Master Healer, right? Master Healer at 2 out of 5, right? Don't really get much at 3 out of 5. I guess you do have you do get the second healing hand too, which is nice. HP advantage 5 is nice, but again, nothing too necessary. So yeah, 2 out of 5 is definitely would be appreciated for Rabombi. Not Rabombi, Comfy. Moving on to the units that need 2 out of 5 but get much better at 3 out of 5, right? First one is Blastoise over here. Blastoise, you get you just get so much at 2 out of 5, right? You get the Racing Rain, which is nice. I think you get, do you get MP Refresh with the, no you don't. Yeah, you get the, you got Racing Rain. Oh, this is the big one. To the top MP Refresh. This is probably the most important node on his sync grid, right? So yeah, you get that. You also get Team Fist Bump. So you kind of have to have him at 2 out of 5, right? However, 3 out of 5 also gives you some really great stuff, right? Impervious is nice. You got all the rain stuff, Refreshing Rain, Raging Rain 3. If you want to run like some rain comp with May and like spam Hydro Cannon, right? With, you know, tanking with Refreshing Rain. I also get Team Triage Tank as well. Wise Entry if you ever use that. So yeah, Blastoise is 2 out of 5 is you need that, but it gets much better at 3 out of 5 as well. Moving on, next one, Whimsicott, right? Whimsicott, you also have to have 2 out of 5, because 2 out of 5 Whimsicott, you do have the big one, which is Inertia over here, right? But 3 out of 5 is also really nice to have because with 3 out of 5 you also get Paralysis Synergy, which is really good. Overpower if you want, right? So Overpower, Paralysis Synergy 5. So basically 2 out of 5 is your nuke build, and then 3 out of 5 is the nuke plus DPS, right? So there's that. Moving on. Next up, Steven Metagross. Steven Metagross, at 2 out of 5. As like, you know, all these units, like, you know, again, Whimsicott, Metagross, Blastoise, they're just not that great at 1 out of 5. Right, so you need 2 out of 5 because Steven at 1 out of 5 it gets like nothing, man. Okay, you got Haymaker, right? You get Haymaker, but 2 out of 5 you get like Recuperation for 1. You get I think you get Move Gauge Refresh on Ironhead, right? Yeah, Move Gauge Refresh on Ironhead. And then 3 out of 5 is really nice because you also have Aggravation on top of the Sync Move power up notes, right? So yeah, that's basically the situation with Steven. Moving on, I got Togepi, right? Togepi. Let's see, Togepi, you definitely want 2 out of 5 because you want the potion stuff, right? Potion NPR, Potion Master Healer, and well, at least some of that. And then would be nice to have 3 out of 5 as well because you get the second Master Healer and the second MP Refresh, and then you got the Team Grand Entry, all that stuff as well if you want that. So yeah, that's Togepi. Moving on, next is probably Komodo. Komodo, you do get some of your damage. Where is it? Komodo, yeah, Komodo, you do get some of your damage stuff at 2 out of 5. Right, you do have like Static Shock at 2 out of 5. But you know, that's just Static Shock. Also you do get a Clanging Scales Move Gauge Refresh at 2 out of 5, right? And then 3 out of 5 you get some other stuff. Get the second Move Gauge Refresh on Clanging Scales, get Paralysis Synergy 2, get High Five 1, right? Yeah, again, none of these are like necessary, but would be really nice to have, right? As well. And I think that's most of that, right? And then the rest are basically all over here, where like you kind of sort of have to have it at oh, I forgot Delbird. Delbird's also in fine at 1 out of 5, but would like 3 out of 5, right? Because Delbird, like most of your stuff is fine at 1 out of 5. You get all the Presence MP Refresh, which is your big one, right? But at 3 out of 5, you also get Shared Fortune, which is fantastic, right? Hail Rally if you ever want that, right? Cold Front if you ever want that. Also Ice Shell I think is at 2 out of 5 as well, so it's good pickup. So like basically 1 out of 5 is just regular, you know, Delbird stuff, and 3 out of 5 you get like most of like the hail stuff. Actually, I think 2 out of 5 you get most of the hail stuff, right? 2 out of 5 you get most of the hail stuff, and then 3 out of 5 is the extra, you know, Shared Fortune, right? So yeah, moving on. All right, so again, these are all you kind of have to have at 3 out of 5, right? So we got Sing Sing Leaf here, Venusaur. Venusaur, you just kind of have to have at 3 out of 5, sort of, because You get like, you got all your healing stuff at 3 out of 5, right? You do get an MP refresh on 2 out of 5, but where's the healing stuff? Where is it? Oh, Master Healer. Potion Master Healer is here. Your DPS Toxic Power 5 is here as well, right? Your Relentless, your Sync Nuke is also at 3 out of 5. HP Advantage is there as well if you want that. But yeah, Healing Sun if you want to run Venusaur and Sun as a tank, right? So like all your stuff is at 3 out of 5, right? And next we got Megalopony, also basically need at 3 out of 5, right? Because that's where your damage is at. Yeah, you got your ramming speed over here, right? Which is honestly the big one. HP Advantage if you want. I'm not a huge fan of HP Advantage, but basically it's just ramming speed, right? Which is big, and very, very easy to achieve, obviously. Then you got probably Hydreigon. Let's see. Hydreigon is almost worthless at 1 out of 5 or 2 out of 5. Like all your like Sync Nuke stuff is at 3 out of 5, right? Devastation's at 3 out of 5. Pecking Order's at 3 out of 5, right? Like your big thing for Hydreigon is your Sync Nuke, and it's all at 3 out of 5. It's all at 3 out of 5. All right. Next we got Eviltal, right? Eviltal, you kind of sort of also have to have it at 3 out of 5 as well, right? Because your survivability is at 3 out of 5. Healthy buffer, right? Healthy buffer is huge if you don't want like Eviltal just get like one-shotted by like, or 1 or 2 shotted by like a lot of things, right? So that keeps the whole thing going. Health buffer reduces damage when your HP is full, and then you heal it back with Oblivion Wing. Then it's the multi-skill, right? Really useful because bad defenses and the world, lowers your defenses, right, as well. So you don't want to get taken out over there, right? And also you also have aggravation on Dark Pulse at 3 out of 5 as well, which is also the big thing. Harry too if you want that, right? Rejuvenate is also nice. HP Advantage maybe, right? Yeah, both your Dark Pulse aggravations are at 3 out of 5. Moving on, Garchomp, all your multipliers at 3 out of 5. Garchomp is yeah. Surging Stand 3 is here. Ramming Speed is here, right? Sharp Entry if you want that is nice in some certain scenarios, right? Move Gauge Refresh on Earthquake is there. Right, so that's pretty simple. Togekiss. I think most of your I think Rising Tide is at 3 out of 5, right? If I remember correctly. Where is T? There it is. Togekiss. Yeah, Rising Tide is 3 out of 5, which is your big Sync Nuke. Ramming Speed's at 3 out of 5. Dirty Fighting's 3 out of 5. Right, the Team Lucky Entry thing is 3 out of 5. Sharp Entry, if you want that, is 3 out of 5. Right, so most of your stuff is at 3 out of 5. Honestly, all your stuff is 3 out of 5. And I just got Octillery. Pretty similar situation with the Togekiss, right? Honestly, so Rising Tide also at 3 out of 5. Crit Strike 3 is at 3 out of 5. Right, Dizzying Power at 3 out of 5. Discombobulate is at 3 out of 5. So yeah, there's that. Moving on, I got Jigglypuff. Ah, there we go. Jigglypuff. Let's see. Your Good Nightmare 5 is at 3 out of 5. All right. Play Rough on Roll 3 out of 5. You know what? Jigglypuff might be a yeah, maybe not. Maybe fine at 1 out of 5, but would like 3 out of 5. Although the thing is, like with Jigglypuff, like I don't know, you're just not doing that much damage, honestly. Yeah, maybe need 3 out of 5. Your damage is just not that great without it. Right, you're just better off using Xerneas if you don't 3 out of 5 your Jigglypuff, right? But yeah, last one, Mimikyu also here. Mimikyu basically has everything at 3 out of 5. You really can't do much about it. I think all your MP refreshes. Yeah, Phantom Force MP refresh at 3 out of 5. Shadow Sneak MP refresh at 3 out of 5. Stop Hitting Yourself as 3 out of 5. HP Advantage 3 out of 5. Fever Synergy at 3 out of 5. Yeah, Mimikyu is a must for 3 out of 5 as well. So yeah, those are in terms of like which category they should be in. And I did sort of roughly rank them in terms of like most powerful to like, you know, least powerful. It's not like, you know, it's not like rigid. Oh, like Leon is for sure better than, you know, Morpeko, or Morpeko is for sure better than Red. But you know, just that like sort of like, you know, region, right? Like I'd say you know, well, we don't have to worry about these. These are 1 of 5. But like stuff like, you know, Groudon, Kyogre, Leon are definitely better like than the rest. Than like Marnie, Morpeko, Red, Charizard, Alder's probably better than the rest over here, and then Zekrom, Sandslash, Duraludon's probably better than the last two, and then those two are, yeah, again, depends on what you want. And then over here, Mighty Young's pretty much better than Comfey. Let's see, Blastoise and Whimsicott's better than the rest over here. Metagross and Togepi's better than Kamo, right? Kamo's the last one, just in terms of priority, right? And then up here is probably Venusaur, Venusaur and Lopunny, and then you got Hydreigon, Yveltal, Garchomp, right? And the next group would probably be Togekiss, Octillery, and the next group would be these two, right? It's just, again, just depends on what you have, and just a rough ranking, right? I didn't put too much thought into like going into like, oh, this one's exactly better than that one, but no, it's just a rough sort of grouping, right? But yeah, that's maybe this one, I guess. Hope you guys enjoy. Let me guys in the comments down below. Like this for our channel for some more Pokemon Masters content. Have fun with the candies again. Congrats to ourselves, I guess, for reaching the goals on the candies. And yeah, I will be summoning Groudon later today, so tune in for that. And I'll see you guys in the next one.